Hello people of the internet, this is REDCUBE Everything coming at you, and like always in the beginning of my streams I do a quick glance over of exactly how the stream is looking, and I actually want to tilt the camera down a little bit more. Actually, you know what, I'm just going to leave it because I don't want to knock it down. But, so obviously I'm going to do a quick glance over everything is looking good. We did have a couple of issues last week, but I'm hoping we don't have to deal with those again. Obviously guys, if you do see something that is wrong, or you see something that you want to see fixed, just let me know in the chat. There is a little bit of a delay, obviously, to prevent stream sniping, but I trust a lot of my players wouldn't do that, but just in case. And if you do see something, say it, and I'll try to address it as soon as possible. I'm going to be joined here once again by Nitrox. Nitrox, introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Tyler Nitrox Bryce. I am a Rainbow Six Siege shoutcaster and potential Dead by Daylight caster. So Sharx versus Seduction. Right now, this is a very fun matchup. Sharx, right now, they're currently undefeated, having only dropped one entire map throughout the whole league, versus Seduction, who they're a little bit rockier now. They're doing better than most teams. They're 2-2 right now, and I think that they won out against Crescent's Blade last time, if I remember correctly.
No, they lost against Crescent's Blade.
They lost.
Which was their third week, but fourth week they just got off of a win. So both of these teams are coming into this week with a win, but something to note as well is Seduction, they've had a lot of roster changes, and they really haven't been stratting well together, and that's something I just know from knowing them personally. They've told me this personally through Discord and things like that. Sharx, on the other hand, they are a team that they're going to capitalize on every single missed strat. And although we did see a little bit of a weakness from Sharx last week, there's a lot of holes in the ship for Sharx, but they definitely patched it up right when Runic kind of exposed those creases and exposed those holes. So I think Sharx coming into this one, they're going to look very, very strong. They're going to be difficult to deal with, and Seduction, they're going to have to deal with a lot. There's a lot on their plate right now, and they just have to finish it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to agree with you there. Along with that, it's a little bit daunting going against arguably the best team in the league right now, who is undefeated and almost has a flawless record. So kind of going into that, it might be a little bit intimidating for them, but it also could work in their favor where they go, hey, you know, we can dethrone these guys. We can bring these guys down. We just got to play well. They got to play smart. And I mean, for the most part, they have had a couple of roster changes, but they still have had a kind of a stable core three. And that's really the main factor in that, having those three players who are able to take the charge and allowing the other ones who are kind of mixed and matched a little bit to kind of do their own thing and be the good players that they are. So I'm definitely not going to count them out just yet.
Of course not. Of course not. Obviously, it's Rainbow Six, one of the most fluid games on the market right now. But just in, we got the map bans. So let's take a check at these. So quickly looking at the map bans, if you were seeking originality and something new to the maps, well, this isn't your match. We have Oregon, Border, and Coastline, the three most picked maps in the entire game, and they're all going to be played today. Obviously, the decider being Border, we might not be seeing Border, but Oregon and Coastline, two very, very common maps. Just first glance at these map bans, what do you see?
I mean, for the most part, obviously, it's going to be strat heavy. It's going to be a lot of strats, a lot of sites being held in certain ways, and I definitely think whoever gets on the defender side first is going to be the one that will have a strong advantage, because I feel like that's what most teams do. They usually don't create too many strats for attacking. They don't go, okay, we're going to go VIP and then we're going to push in through here and do that. They really don't do that too often. It's kind of more of in the feeling of what's going on, because you have to adapt to what the defenders do. But I definitely think that's going to be going in the defender side.
Yeah, a lot of these maps, although Oregon being a very 50-50 type map, the defenders, they still have a chance, especially with the, we actually have a player just disconnect here, so we're just going to talk a little bit more. It gives us some more time to analyze these maps. So,
how are you, REDCUBE?
I'm doing great today. Actually, not really. I'm very sick, but it's okay. And also, I apologize if you guys hear fireworks in the background. There is an event going on near my house, and yesterday this happened, and it just lasted for very long, so I apologize if you hear that. I'm not under attack, I'm not under siege. You see what I did there? Siege. But it's just going to be some fireworks, having a good time, as well as the fact my dog has decided to join me once again because the tub was running. So there's a lot that could potentially go wrong here, but I'm hoping that it all goes right. But before we kind of get dwelling in the fact that there could be possibly fireworks going on, when you go onto this new rotation and these 5 attacking, 5 defending type, kind of this whole new rule set, you're definitely favoring the defense a little bit. And it's because it's a lot harder to attack over and over and over again than it is to defend over and over and over again. Because when you bring attack, if it doesn't work the first time, you're going to have to change things a lot. Whereas defense, if it doesn't work the first time, you could say, you know what? Let's just make the angles tighter. Let's figure it out, and let's do it again.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Mostly, I think that Sharx has very strong strategies. We did see them falter a couple of days ago in their match. I can't remember who they went against. I think it was Pathos, right?
Yes, it was.
Yes, Pathos. Okay, awesome.
No,
I remember that.
Runic. There's Pathos, they lost, and then last week was the Runic matchup.
Right. But anyway, it looks like we have the player back into this, so we're going to be jumping into the game right now. Players are readied up, and we are getting set to go.
All right, here we go. On to Oregon. We'll see you guys there. All right, guys, here we go, and we're just going to be getting right into the map bans here. My favorite part of the entire game. Obviously, I love the action, but map bans, not map bans, operator bans, they really can change things up, and it's always good to see things and see exactly what they bring to the table.
Yeah, so the first one is going to be coming out. It's going to be an attacking ban on the Seduction side, and Twitch is going to get taken off the board. Very strong operator, both fragging potential and with her utility. So I'm expecting them to run a Jaeger and have a lot of ADSs and different devices around in order to play kind of turtle shelling onto the site is what I'm going to guess. Right now, Sharx is going to be setting up their bans next. Now, they do have a couple of options with what they want to do, and it looks like they have locked in their decision, and their choice is going to be a Glaz. So like you've said multiple times, it's either Glaz or Blackbeard usually taken off of the board, so not too surprising to see him go down. But that does leave the Blackbeard, who has been favored recently for attacking Laundry, because you can basically sit on top of the hatch, watch him from Classroom, and have a relatively good angle onto the site.
And as you guys all know, if anybody has played with me before, I do love my Blackbeard, and I'm so happy that he hasn't been banned here. But Mira, not surprising at all. When we see Mira come off of the board, I mean, it's just like any other game. Mira is the most banned operator right now, and she is just doesn't look like she's going to be coming back into the meta anytime soon because nobody likes to play against her.
Yeah, and the very interesting thing is that it doesn't seem like when they do have the Mira that they're able to do anything with her. But Vigil is going to get taken off of the board. Very popular roamer, especially on Oregon. Allows them to kind of give them a bit of an advantage because Oregon's such an easy map to drone. There's a lot of kind of small little areas where it's easy to clear them out relatively quickly. So taking him off the board means it's going to be a little bit harder for them to actually get onto the roam. But we can see the operator choices are going to be brought out right now, and it looks like it's going to be a heavy focus on Laundry Room, grabbing 2-3 armors and a Frost as well. I'm not sure if that's going to be 6-pick onto the Mute, which Broha was originally hovering over. But we'll have to see and find out in a few moments.
I think I'm just guessing what the comms are like with Seduction. They're like, hey, quickly change to something else, and then 6-pick. Actually, not onto the Mute, going to the Jaeger instead. So forget the jammers. They're going to be relying more on the smokes and grenades and with those ADSs. And that's very interesting because the reason you see a Mute be brought downstairs is because it can stop that trapdoor from opening, essentially. As if you put a Mute on this table right here, it's a lot harder to get that trapdoor open, but I think what they're thinking is sooner or later in the round, that trapdoor is going to be open. Might as well just use some different utility, get rid of those grenades, get rid of those smokes, and maybe our defense will just be a little bit better. And especially on a downstairs hold, it's a very typical hold, and it's one that you kind of have to change things up if you don't want to get caught out on the defense. And I think right now, from Seduction, they're doing a traditional style defense, but I'm going to expect a heavy roam, most likely on Meeting Hall, and maybe we could see someone all the way upstairs. I just think they need to focus on this roam game, and they need to slow down Sharx because we know how fast-paced Sharx likes to play.
We can see going right off of it. It looks like it's going to be construction spawn, which means they might actually be attempting to take blue or at least get into tower and move through meeting that way instead of the traditional main lobby push right now. We can see that it looks like Jewel is going to be making his way in the front, but we have 2 roamers already off the site right now hanging out in the main dorm area, and it looks like that's where they're going to focus on holding. Ham is going to get droned out right now, and Clix is going to be making his way into the tower area, pushing ahead of his teammates. Very risky right now, but Jewel is watching the angle and the rotation from Garage right now. They don't know where they are, and it doesn't seem like they're really focusing on droning exactly. Rather, instead, making their way onto the site early on and kind of just hoping that the electronics detector is able to catch everything out that they need to do. Tugmaster making his way into tower, and we can see G2 is finally getting onto his drone, seeing if he's able to spot anybody in meeting hall. He's going to make the call out that that's clear, and that's most likely where they're going to be pushing into next.
Yeah, definitely trying to get a lot of meeting hall control, and you're also going to see Jewel just actually, instead of watching the rotation, going to join the attack here. So they are going to forget about that rotation from the kitchen, as actually Jaeger's going to get caught out immediately, and G2 is actually going to go down. Going to attempt to go for the pickup, but obviously they saw something that scared them and stopped with that. But a trade could potentially come out here, but Habana is still going to be picked up. So that's one Roma off of the board. Very aggressive play there from the Jaeger, trying to take back meeting, but Sharx were having none of it, and now complete control of the map, except Durkin is the last roamer here. Could he do something about it? He is just sitting in showers, being patient and waiting for the flank through kitchen.
Now, Sharx has 3 members right now that are extremely lit right now. We can see a drop is going to be going down. G2 and Clix are making their way around as Tugmaster is trying to get an angle onto the basement hallway, seeing if he's able to spot the Maestro. Hambone's going to go down, but he's immediately docking himself back up, although he's going to take quite a bit of damage, dropping down to 50 health. Ham is still alive, however. Great play from him to get back up there as Durkin's going to find a kill onto G2. That's the Habana getting taken off the board right now, but it's a little bit too late because they already got the hatches open right now. And Tugmaster's going to find one rushing forward. Sushi's going to get fragged out right now. Tugmaster's going to escape with his life, but McFulls is able to clean up a kill on the box right now. 2 members left alive right now, or I'm sorry, 3 members left alive right now for Seduction. Make that 2. As I'm saying that, Jewel is going to get peeked, and he's going to be on the winning end of that. Ham trying to go for a refrag, but he's not able to do so. And Durkins can still get the flank right now, making his way over. Looks like he's about to get into a gunfight, and he's going to be on the winning end. That Tug is going to get sent into the injured state, but it doesn't matter. Sharx is going to get the diffuser planted right now, and Ham is going to find a kill into Clix, and Jewel is going to go down right now. And Durkin, looks like this is going to be going in their favor. Tugmaster last one alive right now, but they don't realize it. And this is looking very good for them right now. Yes, that's going to be Tugmaster going down, and that's going to be Diffuser being disabled.
So a very strong hold there from the defensive team. And in the beginning, when that roam clear was taken out so early on, it really looked like that was going to be a round going for Seduction. I mean, going for Sharx, my fault. And there was just a really good retake. And I think Durkin being on that late roam was a huge influence to that round going in Seduction's favor, because he really caught out that whole attack. They weren't expecting another roamer. They thought, okay, we cleared Jaeger. We have complete map control. But Legion was just patient enough to then go all the way around, get the frags he needed to, stop the pressure. The plant then comes down, but there's no one to defend it, and the defenders are going to be able to win that round fairly easily. I think one of the biggest things to exploit with Sharx is when they push, they commit to that push very, very much so. And they don't want to rotate off of something that they think or they see as an opportunity to get a plant down or an opportunity to get a frag. They don't want to, I guess, play the safe route. They want to go the route that they're dedicated to. And that's something we saw Seduction just capitalize on, because Sharx were so dedicated to going to that backside push, they really didn't care about the roamers at that point. They wanted to get that plant down, get down to the drops, and drop through those hatches, and then they forget about that Legion, and that exactly is what they lost the round to. So I think that is a great way for Seduction to come out early and get a nice start to this match, but they got to keep it strong, because Sharx, they're going to adapt very, very quickly.
And right now, they are going to be switching out to a different site. They are going to be defending kids this time instead of laundry, due to the obvious objective parameter rules. And they are going to be going up against a couple of scary operators. Box is going to be picking up Ying, and Jewel is on the Blackbeard as well, which means they're going to have a lot of control from the outside looking in. And when you don't have a mirror on the site, it's very difficult for them to actually watch that big window in main dorm area, because it was really almost undefendable if they want to actually push inside of that. You know, they can easily spray down the obvious rotation. It's really difficult for someone to stay in kids if you get a Blackbeard outside that window. So overall, this could spell out disaster because of that one operator. We can see, though, they are making their way forward right now. Jewel is in front of the main lobby area, while Tugmaster watching tower, seeing if there's going to be anybody inside. And it looks like they really favor pushing into tower, which not many teams usually do. Typically, the idea here is to either push from below, push from showers, or push main lobby. Many don't really go into tower and then make their way through meeting hall from that direction. So it's very interesting to see them decide to do that instead.
And something that's also interesting to note is they're not pushing from small tower, they're pushing from big tower. A small tower take and then kind of going around the entire map, especially in Oregon, that's a very typical push. But we're actually seeing a big tower take and then slowly rotating into sight, whereas Jewel is really the only other operator who is kind of off of this, as that is going to be unfortunate. So Box is going to go down. So Rehost is going to be coming out after this. Very unfortunate there, as That is one operator off of the board. Seduction, that's a basically a kill. It's going to be interesting who claims that one for Seduction. But the push definitely a little bit stalled now, because I think that was that the Twitch off of the board?
No, Twitch is banned this game. I believe that was the... I actually do not know.
All right, well, whatever it was still technically a frag, and now Sharx are one man behind, and the push is going to have to come in soon. But 130 left. They actually have a good amount of control so far, and they already got control of Master, so it looks like they might be going through a Master plan here. G2 is trying to get a couple shots onto that smoke, but Sushi is just going to hang on to the string that is his life. Maestro is going to get taken out. Tugmaster is there to even it up, but G2 is quickly traded out there from McFoles, and it is still 4-3 in favor of Seduction.
And right now we can see that Tugmaster is going to find another kill for himself. Broha is going to get taken out. Big Foles is going to fall close behind. Great frag coming out from Jules right now to even this up. Or not to even this up, I should say it's actually in favor of Sharx right now, especially that Clix was able to get frag onto Sushi. Ham is going to peek out with the Maestro, seeing if he's able to spot anybody on white stairs, but they know exactly where he is. The pings are coming down, and there is not a whole lot he can do in this situation. Watching that angle very tightly, a frag is going to be coming down, dropping him a little bit, about 50 health right there, but the pings are going to spot out his opponents. Making his way around, Jewel is going to get caught out right now. That's going to be a great frag coming out from him. He's going to peek out on the other side, but it's not going to be enough. Clix is going to be able to find him, and even with a man down, Sharx is able to take round number 2.
All right, guys, but with that, we're going to do a quick rehost here. Obviously, one of the players disconnected, and one of the players were having a connection issue. So we'll be right back, and we'll get right into it. 1-1. Sharx take one map, and Seduction take the other round. Here we go, guys. We'll be right back. All right, guys. So obviously not all the players are in, but I thought I'd take this moment just for a second to, to do a quick little shout out to the next kind of segment that we should be seeing very soon here. It's going to be called a podcast for the league, which is known as Siege After Dark. And it would essentially be a moment when kind of everybody can get together in the community, take a little breather after the week's games, a little bit of maybe sit back, relax, and just talk with each other, go over some funny bloopers, go over some predictions for the next week, trade reactions, and things like that. So that's basically what I want to give a little shout out to, but we are still waiting on one more player here. Unfortunately, his internet went out, and he might be taking a little bit longer than suspected. But Nitrox, do you have any kind of first 2-round analysis that you want to pinch in?
Well, I definitely think that Seduction had a great first round. I really think that Broha, even though he died early on, he actually did quite a bit by dropping 3 members of Sharx down to about 50 health.
Yeah.
He was able to injure one of them. He almost got clicks as well, dropping him down to about 40 health. And I really think that had a change on actually how they played it and a lot of those frags, because for the most part, Seduction, they weren't really getting a lot of headshots. Nothing to say about their aim, but just like angles and positioning, it really just didn't work in their favor. So getting those guys down to about 50 health and kind of forcing them to play a little more conservatively, I think had a great effect on that round. As for their kitchen, or I'm sorry, not their kitchen, their kids dorm hold, I definitely think it could have been better. I mean, it's kind of a shame that even though it was a 4v5 and it looked like it was going to be going into your favor, you still weren't able to win it, and you allowed Sharx to kind of bounce back and even it up. So definitely not the best way you want to start out a game, especially when you're the underdog in this situation. And
especially something to look at, saying the whole underdog thing, to add on to that is Sharx, they definitely have some of the best gunplay in this entire league. For sure. They are one of not only best gunplay, but they also are a team that's been with each other for so long. Haven't really seen many roster changes. They know exactly how to communicate with each other, and they know exactly how to drone out each other. And it's just all that intel and all that skill combined. I mean, that's a tough nut to crack. And Seduction, they've cracked it once in one round. The only team we've really seen actually go head-to-head with Sharx and take a map from them was Runic. They exposed some things wrong with Sharx, but because of that, I think Sharx went back to the drawing board. They figured out exactly what they did wrong, and then they trained on that specific thing. So now it's just going to be even harder for teams to just even take a round, even let alone a map, let alone an entire series. So Sharx is definitely one of the most feared teams in this league for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. Along with that, they've been a team for quite a while. Other than G2, the core roster of that 4 has been around for about 4 or 5 months. So they've played with each other. They know each other. They are all good friends from what I have seen. And that's something that you don't really see a lot with teams. For the most part, most teams are going to break up in about 3 or 4 weeks. And even after that, they typically don't stay too long, or if they do, they're rotated out, and you got players coming in and out and in and out. An example is some like the Dexterity teams, nothing to call it for them, but they are always making roster changes, or Pathos, and it really makes it hard for them to get synergy. I mean, when they do get that synergy, it works out in their favor.
Yes.
But Sharx has already found that. They already know what they're doing. They know how each other plays, and that allows for a trust that most teams don't have, especially with the IGL. They're going to be making the most important calls. If they make a call, you're supposed to listen to them. If you don't, then it makes it very difficult for them to do so. But you have to obviously build trust to make sure they're going to make the right decision. And some teams, they don't have that, and that's where the problems occur. But I don't think Sharx has to deal with that. And I think that's a big advantage they have over a majority of the teams in the REDCUBE League.
And I think the biggest thing for a team is trust. If you trust your anchors, you're going to let that roam be a little bit more aggressive, and they can get more frags. But without further ado, it looks like all of the teams are ready to go here. We're going to be going right back into it. Let's hope the Uplay ad round history has worked. Sometimes it doesn't. We know how finicky it can be. Let's hope it can work so we don't have to sit here and wait for another rehost. But it's definitely going to be a tough match for Seduction. They've looked good so far. They have to stay strong, though, because going down to Sharx, especially on that, especially on the map when they were down, when actually they were up a player for a majority of it, it's very unfortunate for them. They have to kind of hit the hard reset already, but doing that rehost, and a very long rehost that is, I think it's going to help both teams just a little bit to go over some things and talk about things.
I guess we'll find out in this round as they reveal what operators they have chosen, we can see that it looks like Sharx is going to be switching up just a little bit. They're going to be picking up a REDCUBE, which will allow them to find roamers a little bit more easily. Meanwhile, it seems like they got rid of that second ACOG. Instead, they're going to be opting for a couple more roaming operators, ones with a little bit more fragging potential. So we're going to have to see how they do here. And a Jewel, as I was saying, that is actually going to switch back to his comfort pick, which is going to be Blackbeard. So we'll see how he's able to do against a Seduction on Kidstorm.
So we saw Jewel go REDCUBE the very first round. Obviously, Sharx didn't win the first round, so maybe he's thinking, okay, REDCUBE wasn't that viable. Let's go Blackbeard. That second round, he went Blackbeard. He got 2 huge kills as the Blackbeard, and he won the round. So I think that's why we're seeing Jewel kind of opt to that Blackbeard, as well as the fact, because he's 6th picked off of that REDCUBE, it's a little bit of a mind game there. These Seduction players are thinking, okay, be aware of phone calls, roamers, you have to find yourselves in better positions so you don't get caught out by those phone calls. They're thinking about all of that, when behind the scenes, they're not even bringing a REDCUBE anymore.
Yes, definitely, but the setups are going to be coming out. It looks like they're actually going to have somebody playing an Attic right now, setting up a rotation for that. See that Broha is going to be dropping down, and Sushi as well. The two of them are going to be situating themselves off of site right now, but Durkin, it looks like he's going to be playing the hardest roamer, going to be heading down around kids area, or not kids area, I'm sorry, bathroom in the kitchen area as we head into the action phase. Click's already taking on the cameras, and it looks like once again we're seeing a very similar attack to what they did last time. Tugmaster peeking in that tight little pixel peek angle into tower as the rest of the team moves up from the eastern side.
Something that's very interesting to note is in that drone phase, every single one of every single one of the Sharx players' drones, they were dead by the end of that drone phase, and that's very untypical for them, especially a team that has all this synergy, has all this intel, and has just that strong drone game. Having all of those drones out of the picture very early, that's a, although I mean you could say it was a minor start and minor positive for Seduction, those drones definitely come in handy later in the round. And that's already, as we actually see, Blackbeard has found himself through Master Bedroom, has gained fairly a lot of control of this southeast side of the map. Is going to be pushing in here very, very slowly, as I think the first gunfight is going to be coming onto the Maestro, but just like that, nothing really kind of going for him, and we're just going to be waiting for the push, as well as Sharx, that high pace, it's coming out once again, as complete southeast control of the map is given to them, and already no roam presence has really been met with a gunfight, or even a body for that matter. We're just going to have to see how this turns out.
And Broha's going to get into a gunfight. Tugmaster going to be on the winning end of that. That's going to be the Aoeah taking off the board early on right now. Minute and 35 seconds left. They really don't have a whole lot to actually get rid of those bandit charges, but Tugmaster is going to find a second kill. That's both of the roamers fragged out right now, already right now. That's going to leave 3 anchors onto the site right now. And it looks like the X-Thermo charge is actually going to be going onto a Jewel peeking inside of the A-bomb. Not going to spot anybody out just yet. Meanwhile, he has his teammates' lifelines are going to be thrown out right now. And Ham going to peek out of the angle right now. Will he be able to find anybody? Getting droned out by Clicks. That's going to give away his position as he watches the small drones. But Clicks coming around. McFulls is going to take out his teammate right now. And Sushi's going to follow close behind. And Ham gets one. Joel's going to get taken out right now. This is looking like it just happened last time. Click sees the backpack, but is not able to land the shots, and Box is going to clean it up, and Shark will take round number 3.
That backpack of Maestro can only take so many shots, and he finally goes down. As just getting pinched from almost every single angle, there's nothing much that Maestro can do. And it was very similar, like you said, that was a very similar push. Almost exactly the same. And again, we're seeing Seduction go back up to kids' dorms, and do probably the exact same setup. Actually, we are going to see a castle come out, so that might slow down this high-paced Sharx offense. But the question is, can they change it enough where Sharx just don't stomp all over them again? And sometimes some questions don't have good answers, and Seduction has to prove Sharx wrong right now, because they cannot let Sharx just kind of start running away with this one. They got a good first round, but they looked really rough on those last 2.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a shame because they were doing so well in that very first round, and then they had the 4v5, which we assumed was going to be going into their advantage.
Oh, for sure.
But it really just shows how good Sharx is, where even if they're behind, even if they have one player down, even if not everything's working out perfectly in their favor, they're still able to adapt and change to their environment in order to make it work out for them. And that was also some great plays coming out from Tugmaster, who is really showing that he earned that fragging role.
Oh, for
Getting
sure.
a 2K right there. He's gone a 2K another time as we say that. It looks like another Sharx member is going to be booted offline right now. This is during the preparation phase, which means we will actually be heading into another rehost, unfortunately, if I am correct on that.
Actually, they want to play it out. His game just crashed, so I guess we're not going into the rehost. Obviously, it comes down to what the players want. Sharks, they've done one with a 4v5. Can they do another? That just shows how much confidence they have in their team. Seduction have to be a little bit scared after that remark, although they have the numbers advantage. I think confidence is definitely in favor of Sharks right now, which is very, very odd. But Sushi is actually going to be taking a little bit of damage from his own teammate as Maestro is just opening up a little bit of peek holes on the downstairs, I think around bathroom area. But nothing too much to go crying to your mama about. Sushi will be fine. We'll continue with this round. So 4 players here for Sharks. Can they take down the 5 once again? They've done it once, but does lightning strike in the same place twice? I don't know.
And we can see that Tugmaster is going from down below right now. He sees one of the meeting hatches is going to pop open, and there is a member Seduction right above it right now. So the question is he going to drop and find Tugmaster? And it looks like that is going to be the case. Durkin's going to get taken out early on. That's going to be a roamer already off of the board less than a minute into the round. That's not the situation that Seduction wants to be in. And that 4v5 advantage is already gone almost immediately. Really good play coming out from Tugmaster as Jewel is going to get sprayed on. Hand's going to get taken out. Great shot coming out from him. And that's going to be 2 members of Seduction already taken off the board with none getting refragged out by any of the Seduction members for their teammates. G2 is sitting at the Claymore right now. Sushi's hanging out on White Stairs, and Broha is going to get droned out from his roaming position right now. Minute and 55 seconds left. Sharks is setting themselves up for a very good position that they're in right now as Click sets the throw grenade onto the armor paneled window.
I actually don't think Click's got that armor panel down, but he is going to be able to see the feet here of the castle if he can just time this correctly. That could be another roamer down as the only one. Actually, nobody is in sight right now. Everybody is kind of an off-site anchor. Sushi obviously is very close to sight, but nobody is directly in A, nobody is directly in B. And because of that roam game going off so early, and it just doesn't look like a good round here for Seduction. As just like that, Tugmaster is able to get another roamer off of the board. It's going to be all up to Castle here as a lone roamer. It's just going to be taking shots. And just like that, Tugmaster actually getting a kill with the Ash charge, but Sushi does get 1. Can he get more than 1 as he gets 2? And that shotgun, you don't want to get too close to him. And just like that, a 4v1 has changed to a 2v2 very, very quickly. Great individual play there from Sushi, but can he keep it up?
Right now, Sushi is in a great position, but Tugmaster is showing how good he is with the 3-speed warrior right now, making his way up the armory stairs. Now, Clicks is extremely injured right now. He is 1 shot away from death, so this is definitely not the best situation for him to be in. Along with that, timer is ticking away right now, and they do not have control of diffuser or sight right now. They're going to have to push inside. However, Sushi is in a very good situation right now, but he's going to get droned out while he's on the camera himself right now. Clicks is going to be making his way forward, and they're about to collapse onto him. Who is going to come out to be on the winning end of that? Clicks making his way through the window right now, making his way into the rotation. Will Sushi see him? This is a bit of a chaos right now. They're all watching different angles right now, just waiting for somebody to make a mistake as the stun grenades are going to be thrown inside. Tugmaster is going to end up blinding him just a bit right now as they rush forward. Clicks, however, he's going to get blinded right now. He's going to go down, but it looks like Sushi actually dropped down onto the hatch. That's going to allow Sharks to actually get the diffuser down right now, but I think that was the only play that he had at that moment. Diffuser going to go down for Sharks right now. Clicks is watching the back angle, and the Claymore is actually going to get him. G2 finding a frag just when he thought he was not going to be able to do so. And Sharks, once again, are going to take another round.
Getting a kill from the grave, and that's not the big story of it. Sharks, again, down 4-5. They had the man advantage almost the entire time. Obviously not in the beginning because they were down 4-5, but they got 2 early frags on those roamers, and that roam game was eliminated almost immediately. There was no presence from the roamers. There was no time wasted. Sharks' fast-paced offense works once again. They're inside the site, and although it did come down to the last second, Sharks had a lot of control of the map for a majority of the round very, very early on as well. So right now, when we are looking at Seduction, the thing they have to do is they have to change something up. They continue to go kids' dorms, and although there might not be as viable sites to go down to or to change up to, because Kitchen and Backstage, not a lot of people like those sites. We have seen Runic actually win on Kitchen, which was very, very interesting. But Seduction, they're bringing almost the exact same lineup. Actually, there's going to be an alibi brought into the mix, which is very interesting, trying to increase that roam game maybe a little bit more. But they have to change something up here major, because Sharks are continuing to do the exact same strat, get into the face of Seduction, and there has been absolutely zero answer so far.
I think the main concern that they should have is the fact that they aren't really choosing their operators to kind of coordinate with each other. I mean, we do see the alibi coming out right now, but for example, they don't really have a bandit or mute, which means it's going to be very easy for G2 to actually get inside closet and open that up the reinforcement. We can see that Sushi, they are opening up the floorboards below it, but they are not going to have somebody who's going to hold Classroom very easily in that situation to actually get the exothermic charge destroyed when they put it on the wall or to try and go for the frag. However, it looks like this is going to be mainly a first floor focused hold right now. We do see that Sushi and his teammate are going to be up above, but the rest of the Seduction squad are going to be kind of holding in that kitchen meeting hall area, which might be able to throw them off. Adapting is the main key in Rainbow Six Siege, and this is one example of that. However, Tugmaster's watching the tower angle right now, and he has a very good spot on that right now. Looks like they are going to be pushing the tower side once again.
Literally the exact same spots, exact same positions. Every single operator from Sharx is in their exact spot they were last round. And that's a problem not for Sharx because it's been working and why fix what's not broken, but that's a problem for Seduction. If Sharx continue to do the exact same thing, that points to a problem with Seduction's way of playing. And they know it's not working, and Sharx has capitalized on that every single time so far. And again, Master Bedroom control has been completely given up, and Thermite is going to get right into that wall. Already 2 minutes, already reading the 2-minute mark, and there's just already so much map control here for the Sharx team.
And you know, I think actually the Maestro cam was able to take out the exothermic charge through the floorboards. Yes, it was actually, so it's not down just yet. Very smart move. I actually was wrong in that aspect as Durkin takes a couple of shots towards, I believe that was Box's direction. Not able to actually land any of them, however, right now, as Jewel prepares to watch the camera, seeing if he's able to get his teammates to protect the exothermic charge that's going on again. Yes, he will. Ham is going to lose his evil eye right now, and that wall is going to be opened up. Minute and 28 seconds left. Tugmaster down below, spots somebody and Ad trying to use his charge in order to get a kill, and he will succeed in doing so. Durkin's going to get taken out right now, but Nick Foles is going to find a frag for himself. G2 not able to save his teammate. Minute 15 seconds left, 4v4 right now. This can go in either favor. Nick Foles spots the claim, or will he be able to actually destroy it in order to push up those armory stairs? Frag grenade is going to come down, almost finds Ham, dropping him down into the injured state. Fortunately for him, they do have a doctor to pick him back up, but very good nade coming out from Clicks.
And again, because of Thermite losing his charge so early on due to that very interesting Maestro tactic, the push has slowed down considerably as the trades are coming out. Bro getting a trade on G2 just as Mick Foles dies. So right now, this is looking really, really good for Seduction. Time is in their favor, and so is numbers. It's even numbers right now. Health might not be in their favor, but just as I say that, it goes down even more as just chaos is ringing through the ears of every single defender, and the push is definitely going to be coming out here with 30 seconds left. We are just waiting for Sharx as Tugmaster gets yet another frag. That's Ham going down as Doc is going to push down onto Tugmaster. Sushi's able to get a kill, so it ties it up at 2-2, but Sushi with such little health, you trip on his shoelaces and he's going down. But 15 seconds left here. The defenders just have to play time. The smoke is going to come out.
Excuse me about that. It looks like it was actually going to go in Seduction favor. Broha and Sushi finding a kill on a Tugmaster and Clicks, who were not able to clutch it out this time. And that's going to be another round in 3 rounds that's actually going to go in favor of Seduction. Usually I like to say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. But in this case, it actually worked out for Seduction. They finally won another site, and now they're going to be able to go back to Laundry where they had, or no, that's actually going to be a halftime switch. Yeah. I do apologize for that. Now they're going to be on the attack instead.
And something that I also want to clarify is the reason we see Seduction going back to Kids' Bedroom over and over and over again is because in RCR6, unlike some other leagues, instead of it being rounds played, I've done it so it's rounds won. So that means you have to win on a different site before you can go back onto the site that you won. So that's why we didn't see Seduction go back down to Laundry Supply Room. If you guys were a little bit confused, there's your clarification for the day.
And right now we can see the operator choices are much different on both sides. As we switched over into the second half of this map, we can see a couple of different operator choices are going to be picked up by both Sharx and Seduction. They have a Buck right now, very interesting choice, and they're also bringing it to Kebi, who we saw in round number 1 on Sharx. I believe it was Jewel who was playing him, and it didn't really work out in their favor too much. Meanwhile, we can see that they actually brought a castle in a castle for Laundry, which actually isn't too popular of a choice. It looks like, however, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be opening up a rotation hole inside Kitchen, and they're going to be holding that from there using the armor panels in order to kind of block out probably the meeting hall doorway that leads into the main lobby and playing in that position.
So, yeah, definitely what we're going to be seeing here from Sharx is just a lot of meeting hall control, as there's just going to be castles all over those doorways and just trying to get as much control of the map very early on with all those roamers. So it's going to be a very tough roam clear. And I think Sharx definitely have done their homework against Seduction, because Seduction's biggest weakness is the fact they struggle with a strong roam clear. Either they get the roamers out, but they lose a lot of bodies, or they get the roamers out and a lot of time was wasted. So that's why I think we see Sharx right now focusing a lot of pressure on a lot of bodies and a lot of utility on this roam game, because it's definitely going to be very tough for Seduction to handle.
And we can see that Seduction is going to be droning out the first and second floor as Broha and Durkin make their way forward into the bedroom hallway, as McFolz is also going to be heading into the tower as well. Might actually be able to catch out Tugmaster, who is on those stairs, but as I say that, he is going to be rotating back into the meeting hall site just as McFolz comes down with the drone. Not going to be able to find them there. Instead, the frag grenade is going to be coming out from Broha right now, and Durkin, it looks like he's going to be pushing forward onto that attic. That box is not in a very good situation right now. They have droned him out. They know exactly where he is, but the question is, how will they get him out of his tiny little corner? Tugmaster is able to spot out Dekebi, and he gets his drone still alive right now, able to ping them out right there. And it looks like Jewel's actually going to lose one of his yokais. Not the best situation for him to be in right now. And Jewel, it looks like he's going to be going for a frag, trying to get revenge for his beloved Echo drone getting taken off of the board. The question is, will he be able to do it? Trying to look around, seeing if he's able to spot McFolz. The pings are going to be coming down, and they do have the Evil Eye to view his position, so he knows he's on that stairway, but Durkin's going to find a kill on the box. Almost loses his life because of it, but he's going to end up being on the winning side of that. McFolz making his way downwards into the meeting hall area, and he's just barely going to mix Jules, who takes a lot of health off of him, and he actually runs back right now. Big mistake coming out from McFolz, who loses his life unnecessarily, but Brohad's able to find a kill for himself in order to even up and actually make it in favor of Seduction.
So huge trades coming out, and that roam game from Jewel, very interesting. He was actually not going to be able to get that frag, but McFolz running back into the crosshairs of that Echo. Very unfortunate. Doe could be off the board, and because one of those logic bombs was not used, that's a lot of utility wasted as well. And now 45 seconds left. Like I said before, the roam clear, it's been cleared out. Everybody's rotated back down the site, but there's not a lot of time left, and everybody on site has found a nice angle to hold and wait for that push. Seduction is going to be throwing some flashes in, and nothing really coming out except a couple of pre-fires. Sushi was debating to throw yet another one. Jewel is able to find a frag, but traded out quickly there by Broha. It's going to be up to Smoke and Tugmaster here, who are both flashed, and it's going to be very hard, but the plant is going to be coming down into the default backside, and Ham is going to get another kill. Ham's going to get another one, just as I say that. G2, Tugmaster going down, and Seduction take yet another round, and that is 2 in a row for them.
Yeah, a buy one, get one free for Ham as they head into round number 7. Very good start on the attacking side for Seduction. I especially like what Ham has been doing. This entire game so far, he's usually the last member alive, and he's usually able to pick up a frag or two each round. So he's doing a great job in that situation right now. And as we can see, Sharx is going to be switching up. They're going to be going over to Kids. Very smart play. They knew that Laundry didn't work out for them. And Seduction, they were just able to kind of see that Sharx, you know, they had all these reinforcements up. They had a meeting hall hold. They had a kitchen hold, and it didn't matter in the end. They were able to isolate Box so he wasn't able to watch from above in the attic area, taking him out early on. And along with that, they were able to find another frag as well, turning it into a 3v4. And they just kept that advantage the entire time. They played very smart and played very safe, which is different from how we saw them play on the defensive side. And another thing is with Sharx, even though they had these strategies, it really felt like they weren't winning those gunfights, which is typically the exact opposite of how they usually play. So we'll see if they're able to bounce back on this brand new objective site, seeing if the new scenery is able to kind of get them to play differently. We can see that right now the kills are definitely in favor of, I believe that was Tugmaster. Yeah, so Tugmaster with 8 kills right now, definitely leading the charge for his team and really playing his role as a fragger.
And something also to note is the top fragger for Team Seduction is actually Broha. Broha is a very, very new signing for Team Seduction. He was actually picked up. He's been in the tryout process, obviously, for a long time, because most high-level teams, the tryout processes, they take a very, very long time. But Broha, he was picked up. He's played in I think one league match, and just like that, he's in the lineup once again, and you see why. He is a very strong fragger. He's getting those kills that need to happen, and he's clearing out roamers very well. Obviously, there's been only one defensive round, but Broha had a lot to say to that roam game and cleared it out almost immediately. So he's playing very, very well, and he's gelling almost perfectly with the whole Seduction team.
And Clix is going to be playing down below. Meanwhile, Tugmaster is trying to see if he's able to spot anybody out with the spawn peak and small tower, looking around. Not going to catch anybody out just yet at the moment, however. Almost a minute in right now, and it's really hard to tell what Seduction is doing at the moment. They have a lot of operators in a lot of different positions right now, and it seems like they're a little bit fractured. We can see that McFoles, along with Ham, are going to be pushing up into the main lobby and are going to be joined by Sushi. But for the most part, they're really not putting much pressure on any roamers or on the site itself. And this could spell a disaster. Minute and 52 seconds left. Not the best situation you want to be in, where almost no roamer is being pressured or fragged out. We can see, however, that it looks like Clix was going to get spotted out right now, and Ham is going to use a frag grenade in order to try and get somebody. But this could spell a disaster. McFoles continuously having a drone on the Clix. We can see that Box is going to help out on the white stairs, making sure nobody's going to be pushing him from that angle. Minute and 30 seconds left. Tugmaster is going to find the first kill of this round. Ham's going to go down, and Box is going to find one for himself, but McFoles grabs the kill. Although Jewel is able to grab McFoles right now, and that's going to turn this into a 2v4 almost immediately in favor of Sharx. Broha is going to get into a gunfight with somebody in kitchen, and it looks like he is going to be on the winning end. That Jewel almost losing his life, instead opting to back away and get use out of his yokai. Broha right now going to toss a frag grenade inside. Will he be able to find anybody? I don't think he will. Instead, he'll actually take out the yokai. Very good timing on his end right now. Broha pushes his way forward. Who's going to be on the winning end of that white hallway? Shots are going to be coming down there. And Sushi is going to find a kill on a Clix, taking him out. Very good shots from him right now. 50 seconds left. Box is watching that angle like a hawk right now, just chilling on the stairway right now. But a flash grenade is going to be coming inside and force him to retreat. He is going to get away with his life, and G2 is watching from above right now. 40 seconds left, and Broha is going to get taken out by G2. Great angle from him. This is all up to Sushi right now in a 1v3 situation as he makes his way over to the armory stairs. 30 seconds left. Not a whole lot that he has the ability to do so right now, and is going to get spotted on the camera. Not a very good situation for Sushi.
Yeah, this is who you want in this position, though. He is the top fragger. He is actually the designated fragger for Seduction, so this is who you want in these 3v1 clutches. But there's not much you can do, especially against a team as skilled as Sharx, as Box is going to say, you know what, let's end that there. Sushi can take a seat, and we're just going to finally take a round here on defense. So Sharx coming back after 2 losses now. They are 1 match away from match point. Seduction, this is a must win for them. They cannot let Sharx get on the match point, because once they get on the match point, there's going to be a snowball effect. Sharx is going to look bigger and badder and just be very, very hard to stop. That's something we saw in the Runic game. When Sharx came out, they didn't look good at the get-go. But once they put their foot to the pedal and the pedal to the metal, that's when things started to get very, very difficult for Runic, and Sharx there was really no counter for them. Seduction, they have to put a stop to it right now, or that exact same thing is going to happen, but it's going to happen a lot earlier, and Seduction's not going to be able to take a map.
And the first 6 pick is going to be coming out. Bonks is going to switch over from Donk to somebody in a few moments. Once that is revealed, Bandit is going to get pulled out right now on the laundry room hold. Now, obviously, Sharx has some strategies without a Mira. However, Mira is a very key factor for the most part on this site. So I'm kind of interested to see how much this is affecting Sharx right now, not having that essential operator. We can see that they are already switching things up just a bit, choosing a couple of different operators and putting a few reinforcements down in some different areas. It looks like they are going to be holding meeting room once again, but I think that they are going to be doing it a little bit differently. They aren't bringing out the armor panels, and they aren't creating any rotations inside kitchen. I think they're really going to focus more on playing as offside anchors, hanging out in meeting room until they need to drop down, rather than trying to have complete control of the first map.
And the thing we saw from Sharx, obviously, on the first round they defended this site, was they opted for control, as Clix is going to go for the very, very cheeky peek here. Could he catch somebody out? Unfortunately, I don't think anybody spawned there, so he's not going to be getting any early frags as of yet. Someone that we do know and love who does that is Skaboza, who's famously been known for his very aggressive style of play. And And unfortunately, we weren't able to see any of that. But meeting hall control is definitely another priority here for Sharx. They extended their control last round into kitchen, but they're not doing it this time. They're not creating that rotate. They're focusing solely on meeting, and I think that's very, very smart. They need to be a little bit more focused on that first defensive round. And I'm glad that they're adapting here, changing things up, because right now, there's almost a trap set for Seduction. They've cleared out the 3rd floor, and they're thinking, okay, we got to watch the kitchen. We're going to take our time here to the kitchen, just kind of slowly make our way in. But because nobody's in that kitchen area, they're then going to push into meeting hall, and then that's where all of the bodies are going to be invested, and that's where everybody's going to start going down. So it's a very intelligent hold here from Sharx, and it's going to be very hard for Seduction to kind of get things going, especially getting that roam clear.
And Tugmaster with a spawn peek is able to find McFoles before Jerkin rushes through the window, is able to find him, getting the refrag immediately after, turning this into a 4v4. Great shots coming out from them right now as Ham tries to throw a frag grenade into the attic area and is not going to find anybody at all as Sushi makes his way around. Broha spots out the Yokai, but he's not able to take it out just yet. And it looks like they have relatively good control of the first floors. Box is going to get taken out. That's going to be 2 roamers taken off the board. Now, Clicks is still around right now. He is hanging out in the meeting hall area, and he might be able to do something if he doesn't get droned out. We can see that a lot of drones are going to be coming down right now as G2 hanging out in the laundry stairs area, kind of just relaxing at the moment. Clicks pushing forward in the meeting hall area and is able to find Jerkin with a great shot. That's going to be the Zofia taken off of the board, but immediately refragged after Ham is able to find him before, but not before dropping down to 25 health. Not in the best situation he wants to be in. G2 still watching the hatch from above that is open as Jewel watches the back angle. And it looks like Ham is actually going to be going for a reset. No, that is not going to be the case. Actually, yes, it is. I'm not really sure what they're doing right here, right now. They're trying to get that or not, and they're not going to be able to land it, unfortunately. This is looking very good for Sharx right now, surprisingly.
Yeah, and a lot of time was wasted, although it was just a little bit on that reset attempt. Lots of time wasted as they're still putting time into it. That's about 30 seconds knocked off of the board. There was about a minute when they had complete map control, and now it's down to 29 seconds. I think that was a little bit of a big mistake. Yes, that 50 health is huge, but all that time, that's a little bit bigger. But the push is going to be coming out here. Smoke is just going to run through and just knock the head off of Sushi with that very, very good shotgun. And it's just going to be actually now in favor completely of Sharx because although that reset did come out, he doesn't still have enough health to out-duel the smoke. It's going to be knocked out. G2 takes down Ham, and it's going to be all up to a 1v1 now. Broha versus G2, the 2 subs, but with 2 seconds left. Nothing's going to happen here, and just as time runs out, Sharx are able to survive just enough. And that was very close there from Broha. So close to knocking the head off of G2. But time, again, I think it really comes down to the fact they tried that reset, took so much time off of the board. In the end, they weren't able to get any plant down and not enough frags. And time runs out, giving Seduction more to work back from as Sharx are on to match point.
Yeah, what a great 2v3 situation for Jewel and G2. They were playing Echo and Smoke, and those are the last 2 operators that you want in that kind of situation, so it definitely worked out in their favor. But they played that extremely well, waiting until 30 seconds to actually use the Toxic Babes, even when you were getting pressured, pushing forward through those and getting McFoles and playing the angles very smart, especially at the end there, kind of just chilling in the corner, playing safe, waiting for the time to run out instead of trying to get greedy and go for the frag.
So, looking here just at the scoreboard, the kills are definitely a lot more spread out here for Seduction, but Tugmaster has been put onto that fragging role, and he's playing it very, very well. He's gotten rid of roamers when he was on offense, and he's gotten rid of people that are trying to get rid of the roam when he is on defense as he is playing Pulse. Pulse on Oregon is one of the most feared operators. He can get right under any type of plant, chuck a C4, and just like that, your plant opportunity is fizzled out in the brink of just about 5 seconds. And that's why Pulse is so feared, and especially being on Tugmaster, Seduction have a lot to worry about with that roam game. And because I think I'm just going based off what we've seen from Sharx, they like this upstairs site a lot better than downstairs. And because they have it now, they got rid of that downstairs site that has been proven to be very difficult for them. Seduction have to pull something out here that's going to be very interesting. They got to get rid of those roamers because if they don't, this is Shark's map immediately.
Right, and I'm not sure if this was their decision to go onto this map or if it was Seduction's, but they're playing it like they know exactly what they're doing, and this is a quite a very popular map. It's not too surprising to see that they have strong strategies for it, but they seem like they are really comfortable right now. Click's making his way into the Stripes area of Meeting Hall, seeing if there's anybody in Meeting Lobby, or I'm sorry, Main Lobby or Garage. Not going to be spotting anybody out on the roam just yet. And once again, almost a minute already passing. In Seduction, they really aren't doing too much. We can see that Durkin is in Attic right now, and Ham is making his way into Meeting Hall with Sushi able to drone out Clicks, who's going to be rushing forward at the moment and making his way down below as McFoles is able to take out Tugmaster. That's a major fragger and a major operator taken off of the board early on.
I talked about it so much, how important that pulse would be to get off the board, and McFoles does exactly that. No Lion needed to come out as well, so that's a huge frag, and still a lot of utility here for Seduction. This was a great start for them, and they have a lot of map control. Meeting Hall has been definitely granted towards the defensive team. The only roamer now being Clicks, who is kind of on these tower stairs just waiting out this line, as Smoke is going to get a ping, but not able to find a frag. Everybody else is on site. Actually, just as I say that, I forget, Jewel is sitting down in median, but Durkin able to take down Klitsch, and as well as Jewel is going to be down, and just like that, he's going to be taken out. G2 able to get a frag, though, but it's still a 2v4 situation. Everybody has resorted back to site, and this is not looking good for Sharx, but we've seen them in these types of situations before. 2v anything, you never want to count Sharx out.
Now, G2, as you say, that Broha is going to get taken out. Great play coming out from G2, who has been doing a great job in these holds at the moment. These kind of clutch situations that they want to be in. Box as well right now, looking strong. And that's going to be Durkin getting spotted out right now. But the rest of Seduction, with the exception of Zafia, is going to be at about 25 health. They are one shot away from death. Not the situation you want to be in, especially with 40 seconds left. And only Durkin has control of the defuse right now, and he is nowhere near the site. Still making his way up onto the north window. That's going to be a camera taken as McFoles tries to go for a couple of pre-fires, not able to spot anybody out just yet. 30 seconds left. They have to begin to move inside. E1D is going to go down. The Lion is going to roar. The ADS is going to go down, and they are prepared to push inside. Flash grenades are going to be coming out, or I should say the Lifeline is going to be doing so. G2 right below the window that Durkin is next to. And Box is going to get into a gunfight with McFoles, is not going to win that. Instead, he will find somebody, however. Ham is going to go down, but they're going to be rushing forward at the moment. They're going to get into a gunfight, and Box is able to get somebody, but it's not going to be enough. McFoles to come from behind and save them on this map.
The problem there was Sharx, they looked like the more dominant team even when they were down players, but just a really strong retake of site. Not retake, just a strong take of site, but Sharx still obviously on match point. And now they're going to have to go back up to kids' dorms. That round was so close when it didn't need to be. Seduction had the man advantage 4-2. You never want to then bring it down to a 2v2 situation. Even that 3v2 situation, I definitely still favored Sharx. The reason that is because McFoles, and I think it was Broha, had such little health that they didn't even close to equal 50%. So it was essentially maybe a 1v half a person, but obviously there's no half people in Rainbow Six Siege. That was still a round that you don't want to let Sharx get a hold of. They almost pulled that off, and they almost pulled this match away from Seduction. They can't let those things slip out of their grasp.
Yeah, I think a main issue was the fact that G2 really didn't use any of his remote gas grenades at the end there. He could have tossed one out of North Hall, or he could have even put one on that window that Durkin was repelled out of. I think that would have at least stalled them and allowed them to be in a better situation than they were in. And it certainly was in their favor. Having two operators at 100% health is much better than having three operators with two of them drop down to about 25. That was their round to clutch it out, and unfortunately they weren't able to do so, which is a shame, but hopefully they're able to learn from those mistakes. Now keep in mind, they've already won 2 4v5s and another 2v4 clutch, so they definitely have the possibility of doing so. And you know, you can't win them all, but that was a very good situation for Sharx to be in that they kind of dropped the ball on.
One thing that I always say is when you put your team in a position where they have to clutch, you essentially lost that round. You were putting your team in a spot where they have to go against the odds, and they have to go against the numbers, and they have to go against the statistics. That's never a spot you want to put your team in, you know, let alone multiple times. And we've seen Sharx, they've gotten in those situations multiple times. The difference being, they don't care about the numbers, they don't care about the statistics, they don't care about the man advantage. They've been able to clutch out situations like that. And that's what makes them so dangerous. Unfortunately, like you said, they weren't able to kind of take it there, but they still have a lot of confidence, and Seduction still have to crawl their way back into this one. Obviously, being there is infinite overtime, Seduction don't want to let this one slip. 4 to 5, this is probably one of the most annoying rounds, especially for Seduction, because they're so close to sending it to overtime, but one round, and they're out of it.
And Durkin making his way into the addict area already as the teammate drones out for him, trying to get the information from there. It looks like Clix was going to get droned out. Now, he has not been having the best game, but he has gotten a couple of important frags. Meanwhile, Tugmaster doing a great job on that killing role right now. I believe he is at least at double digits in terms of eliminations. Yes, that is going to be exactly what I saw there. Box able to find a kill early on. Ham is going to get taken out. That's going to be the buck taken off of the board, which means it's going to be a lot harder to actually open up those small dorm reinforcements.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think that buck actually got killed through a hole, and you know what I say, those holes work both ways. So unfortunately, the hole that Buck made is actually going to be knocked off, and just like that, Broha as well. Box taking a lot of heat, but he still finds himself at the top of that gunfight. 2 huge operators in the IQ, and Buck taken off of the board. But they still do have that thermite, and now they can push onto site with that lion roaring. But with 120 left and no man advantage yet, and a roam game that's still very, very strong, it's not looking good for Seduction at all.
Yeah, they have 2 people playing offside. Jewel and Clix are down onto the first floor, and Tugmaster has control of those evil eyes. He's able to spotline, doing a little bit of damage onto him, and he is able to save his Maestro camp as well. That's a lot of damage that McFoles just took for almost nothing. Like I said, the exothermic charge is going to be going down, which will open up the small dorms reinforcement. However, once again, they have a lot of people roaming off of site right now. Durkin peeking forward, seeing if he's able to spot anybody, but that's not going to be the case as he makes his way into the hallway. Tugmaster getting a kill, but McFoles is going to find one for himself, although GH is going to follow that close behind right now, and it's all up to Durkin on this map to clutch it out in a 1v4 situation. He is not going to be able to do so, however. Clix ending it out with a frag for himself, and Sharx will be taking map number 1.
What it really came down to was just gunplay at the end there. It comes down to the fact who's going to be quicker on that angle, who's going to be quicker on that gunfight, who's going to come out on top of the gunfight. Seduction, you're not pitting them as even with Sharx. Sharx are so good with their gunplay. It comes down to time. They've played the game a lot longer than Seduction. They've won their gunfights this entire time. They have a lot of confidence one-on-one. That's what was the difference. And Seduction, they exploited a lot of mistakes from Sharx, but Sharx, there were so little mistakes that even with all that exploitation, it didn't really mean much to Sharx. And obviously, they win the first map of Oregon. But we are going to be going on to the second map, which is going to be Coastline. And let's see exactly what Sharx does there. Obviously, that is the map they lost to against Runic. Can Seduction catch them out once again on Coastline? We'll be right back. When you don't wake up next to me, you're incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets, 'cause I'm incomplete. I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up this empty sheets. 'Cause I'm
Makes me feel I belong to something.
Where are you going? Going so fast tonight. Have you ever stopped beside the road to smell the rose of life? Take a breath now. Don't hold it in too long, 'cause you might end up missing out on life's short little song. She's saying, ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live. Don't let it.
Alright guys, we are back and on to map 2 of Coastline. Like I said, we've seen Sharx fall on this map before. Can Seduction take this to a map 3 just like Runic did? Let's see what happens.
And now that Seduction is going to be starting out on the attacking side, that might be able to shift this momentum into their favor, because in my opinion, it's a lot easier to attack on Coastline than it is to defend. But we are going to be seeing Glaz once again getting taken off of the board. Sharx deciding that they just don't want to play against him today.
Not at all. We've seen Glaz go off 2 times, that is, especially obviously both of them being Sharx. And it's actually very interesting because obviously I don't mean to bash down on Seduction, but there really is no main Glaz fragger type player. Sushi obviously fits that fragger role very, very well. But Seduction isn't one of those teams that's Blackbeard goes off the board. 2 very, very typical bans. That's very unfortunate, as it's just kind of no originality here. We've seen very common maps and common bans. Unfortunate, but I think both of these teams are very traditional, and it's just kind of who is better at that traditional playstyle. So far it's been Sharx. Seduction have kind of found their way in it as well. So defensive ban on Coastline. Obviously them attacking first, I'm expecting not at all that.
Yeah, definitely didn't expect them to take off that roamer specifically. Instead, I feel like a better choice might have been a Mira or something along those lines, instead of getting rid of a roamer that could easily be replaced by Vigil or Aoeah. So it looks like Sharx, though, they are going to be using their final ban on Aoeah. Click's giving us a little bit of a spoiler alert, and we're going to be heading into round number 1 right now.
That's very interesting, actually, because obviously Mira being banned, that's very, very, very common. But something that's not common is the defensive team, the team who's on defense first, banning the Mira, and then the team that's attacking not banning the Mira. So it's almost like the tables have turned a little bit, because I was expecting maybe Sharx, as we see an obvious 6th pick.
Oh boy, it's going to be one of those games.
An obvious 6th pick has to come out there from Tachanka. If we see Tachanka get played, I will be very happy, but I'll also be very surprised, and I don't think that's a very smart thing to do.
Would that be the first time we see Tachanka in the REDCUBE League?
It would not be, as actually it is counting down very close, and I'm a little... Everybody hold your breath. We're seeing Tachanka. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. This is definitely going to be very, very interesting.
We are memeing it right now. We're going, oh, boxes, it's just a joke. But I think Tachanka could actually work here. If they're able to maintain control of the second floor where people aren't able to buck him out of his position, and he's able to get that long angle on delivery, especially since they don't have a Mira, we might be like making fun of it, but this is a legitimate setup from Sharx, and they're working around it. I don't think that they actually, I definitely don't think Seduction expected this, but I don't think Sharx is actually doing this for a meme.
No, I think going into this, you want to throw off the other team. What's the best way to do that? Not only go to a different site that's not Penthouse, but bring a Tachanka, the least picked operator in casual, ranked, competitive. Anywhere you look, he's the least picked. He also has the lowest win rate, unfortunately. But that could change here. Sharx definitely throwing off the attack. Everybody was expecting a Penthouse push, hence the reason you see a Thermite and a Twitch and an IQ. Just, it's a very Penthouse push operator pick here from Seduction, and getting thrown off the first round, obviously going to Kitchen. This is already a little bit in favor of Team Sharx, even with that Tachanka.
I guess we're gonna have to find out if it works. We can see that the Tachanka turret is set up in the Sunrise bar right now, and he has a nifty little angle through that doorway at the moment. Meanwhile, Clicks, playing a little bit more of a standard operator, is going to be roaming around that blue bar area, so they do have control of that section on the first floor, and it seems like they gave up second floor control relatively quickly to Seduction, but we can see it is actually wasting a lot of time. McFoles is going to be droning them out right now, and it looks like Box will end up getting spotted out right now. But overall, there's really not a whole lot that Seduction has gained just yet in the first minute of the round. We can see that Jewel is going to spot somebody through that hole, but neither of them are going to shoot at each other. Meanwhile, Clicks, it seems, did a little bit of damage onto McFoles as well as they watched from those angles. Along with that, he's also running the suppressor. Very, very interesting choices from Box, but if it works, it works, and you can't fault that. Meanwhile, G2, he's taking quite a bit of damage right there, but Broha is going to find the first frag of this right now. Jewel's going to get taken out, and that's going to turn this into a 4v5 in favor of Seduction right now, who is looking very strong on this second floor push. Durkin is going to find another one. Tugmaster getting taken off of the board right now. That's going to be the Maestro going down his box, gets into a gunfight. Who is the Tachanka going to come out on top? Yes, he is. McFoles is going to go down, and Box will be finding a first frag as Tachanka right now for his team.
The issue so far with Sharx is the fact they didn't even give up. There was absolutely zero upstairs presence, and because of that Buck just opening so many lines of sight, 2 operators on site went down very, very early, but G2 is able to tie it up just like that and actually get the lead here. Man advantage given straight back to Sharx is just as I say. So talking about how many things Sharx did wrong so far, well, they're doing a lot more right, as just Ham and Sushi are left for Seduction. But the push there coming up from Tachanka, he's able to get yet another kill. Nice try trying to kill the Lord, because it's almost impossible. It's going to be all up to him. Can Tachanka get a third? And he does.
Wow.
If you told me this morning, you'd say the most important operator for the Sharks defense on their first round of Coastline would be Tachanka, I would slap you straight in the face.
Especially on Sharks. We have never seen this team do something this, I don't want to call it silly, because obviously it worked out very well in their favor. But usually you would expect a lower level team to pull out a Tachanka and try something like that. Not Sharks, who is undefeated right now. And I swear to God, if Box pulls it out again, I'm going to lose my mind. As they're going to be switching over to the Penthouse side, it looks like once again they're not only bringing one off-meta operator, but two, they're going to be picking up a Frost as well. And now one of these two is going to be locked in no matter what, even if they do 6-pick off of it. And is that going to be the case?
Oh my.
We are seeing Tachanka again. Wow.
Oh my. Something to note, though, is I thought they were going to bring the Frost because in higher level, it's actually seen that diamonds and kind of platinums, that area, that skill range, they run into Frost mats more. But they don't have to worry about Frost mats. They have to worry about the LMG that's going to be mounted and loaded. As Box goes to Tachanka again, it's working, though. That's the thing, is it worked. It was the most influential operator for sure, and it most likely will be again. They're throwing Seduction off completely. They're pulling out a strat nobody has seen, and no matter how skilled a team will be, obviously, I mean, Penta and EG and teams like that, they could probably find a counter, but no matter how skilled a team will be, pulling something out that different and just kind of pulling out a Joker from your stack of cards, it's going to throw a team off for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not even sure how I would react in a competitive environment from Tachanka. I would just think it's so ridiculous, and I'm not sure if I would be like, oh, this is going to be an easy pick, or if I would be nervous, because, like, why are they going to Tachanka?
Yeah,
like,
what are they doing?
Sleeve?
Exactly.
But we can see it looks like this is going to be more of a penthouse-focused push. This might be a site that Seduction is a little bit more comfortable with attacking. We can see that Sharx are playing different positions around the map. Box is in the office area, and Clicks is just above. Now we can see that Durkin, it looks like he's not going to catch out Clicks on the roam right there. It looks like he's going to be making their way over with the aquarium. Jewel is able to spot somebody out on the aquarium balcony, taking a couple of shots on the Clicks and succeeding and dropping him down to 50% health, but not before he drops down to 25 himself. Very good start for Sharx right now as Tugmaster tries to catch somebody out on the rooftop. Will he be able to do so? Box playing down below in the office area, and Clicks is actually able to take out McFoles early on. That's going to be the IQ already off of the board, which means that second Yokai and the Goo Mines are going to be relatively safe right now as Broha makes his way into the aquarium, and Ham is going to run into somebody right there. Tugmaster taking a lot of damage, but Jewel is able to find Broha, although Durkin's going to go down as well, or I'm sorry, he's going to get the refrag as well to even that back up. But this is a 3v4 right now in favor of Sharx. Once again, they have the man advantage. However, we've seen them throw this, but it might not be the case right now. Box making his way up the stairs, doesn't hear the Twitch drone, doesn't realize how close they are, but the pings are going to be coming out. Will Box be able to do it? Yes, a fourth Tachanka kill for him as Durkin's going to go down, and another frag go over into Ham's favor as well. No, he's not actually able to complete it. Instead, there's going to be his teammate who is able to save his life and force him back. Ham is in a very dangerous position, and he's not able to complete the kill.
So down but not out, obviously, just like that, as we say that he goes down, but that is Diffuser as well. So Ham not only has a 3v1 situation, but he also has to pick up the Diffuser that was so carelessly dropped from, I think that might have been the It Doesn't Matter, as Box is able to get the kill onto Ham through the wall. And once again, who got the most kills that round?
Ya boy Tachanka Chang.
Exactly.
Our Lord and Savior.
This is... And obviously, looking at, if somebody comes in this stream right now and they see Tachanka being used, they're going to be like, oh my god, what is this meme? What is this joke? Why is this a competitive environment? The thing is it's working very well. Tachanka hasn't died and has gotten 5 kills. I think Box, he hasn't even used his LMG. I'm really thinking right now, if I'm Boxed, he just likes that gun, and... I mean, if it's working, exactly. That's why I'm thinking, like, why not go Capkin? Why not go a little bit more of a viable operator? But, I mean, I don't want to say viable anymore because could Tachanka be just like the next Lion when he was so overpowered? You never know. Never.
Very, very interesting. I definitely have not seen a whole lot of games with Tachanka, let alone casted them. But they are going to be pulling it out again. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I'm not sure if Sharx is just trying to pull off such an insane strategy that it just might work kind of mentality. But, like, look at these choices. Very rarely do you see all these operators aligned together, especially on Kitchen. Holding without an ACOG is a very dangerous strategy. Along with it, they do have a Valkyrie and an Alibi as well, but these just aren't really team compositions that you see too often.
Oh, definitely not.
Especially when you have the Russian operator that we are seeing right now. Typically, it's going to be Capcan who is chosen instead, but...
And Capcan's not even chosen that much. No
Yeah.
Russian operator is chosen that much, except Finka sometimes. But again, it's a very odd team composition. There is really no link between any of these operators, but it's throwing Seduction off. Seduction don't quite understand what they want to do. I think they're getting a little nervous because nobody wants to die to a Tachanka. No one. No one ever wants to die to a Tachanka. And because of that, going through the head of Seduction, it's really throwing them off, and it's making them slow down their attack, slow down their push, and lose a lot of confidence. But just like that, Jewel is going to be going down, and he's in a down but not out phase and is in a very dangerous position. He should be dying here very soon, but Clix is able to get a kill on the Broha, and that roam game that we didn't see from up top is coming around now. As Clix is able to get a good frag, but it's getting caught out there from McFoles, who rotated down, gets that cool vibes kill, and actually gets 2, gets 3, and gets 4!
Oh my god!
And it's gonna be all up to Tugmaster now.
Great Scott! Definitely a way to redeem yourself. McFoles able to pick up 4 frags under his belt. Now, this is a 1v3. Tugmaster has been doing a great job, and he is using Alibi with the ever so powerful MX4 Storm, so I would not count their chickens until they hatch, but this is a very good situation for Seduction to be in. Only just about a minute and a half left in the round, and they are already in a very good position, wiping off 4 members of Sharx right now. We can see that Tugmaster is watching the bathroom area. He's not really sure what to do, I think, at this moment, and there's not a whole lot he can do right now. With everybody holding different angles, he cannot move a single inch without dying, and he might just die to the shots from Ham if he peeks out that doorway. The two of them are just right next to each other at this point, as the diffuser is going to get planted right now in a very good position for Seduction.
So Seduction is looking really good, and the moment Ham looks away, wow, the siege timing has to hurt, but it doesn't hurt that much, as Durkin is able to get the kill onto Tugmaster. But the big highlight of that entire round, McFoles as a Lion, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 huge kills, and turns it to a 3v1 in a matter of seconds. Those are the type of plays that give a team so much confidence, and it might just be that confidence Seduction needs to pull a couple rounds back and maybe take the lead from Sharx.
You know, I'd have to be a Lion if I didn't think that was a good play.
I like that one. I wasn't thinking of that one.
There you go. A little bit of a pun disaster from Caster. It's very cringy, very stupid indeed. But we're gonna be heading into round number 4 right now, and Box is not switching off of Tachanka. Oh man. We're seeing
Captain
Russian operator.
It's still there. I mean, there's still the presence, the taste is there, but it's not as satisfying. It's still there, but it's not the best. But we could still actually see he hasn't.
I have a feeling this is one of those things where his teammates are going, "Okay, man, we lost a round. Let's start taking it seriously." And Box is like, "Fine, I'll take it seriously," and switches over to Capkin.
Yeah, that's definitely something.
The rest of Sharx just goes,
God, really? God, come on, Box. Really? This is not the time. But I mean,
they are going to be going back to Kitchen, and you know they did well on this site in round number 1. They were able to take the victory there, so maybe they'll be able to repeat it here.
Yeah, and something that's very unfortunate, obviously, I hate to dwell on one thing for so long, but when Tachanka's in the mix, I mean, you can't blame me. When the very unfortunate thing that happened is we never saw a kill from the Tachanka turret, which is just unfortunate. But maybe he comes back later in the rounds and pulls something off. I think we're slowly starting to see Sharx go back towards a traditional meta, kind of go back to things that are a little bit more common, because they're realizing Seduction, yes, it's going to throw them off a little bit in the beginning, but if we continue doing the same thing and kind of bringing in operators to try to throw them off, they're going to pick up on that and they're going to be like, all right, these guys are just doing this. Let's try to find that counter. So I'm starting to feel Sharx definitely trying to go back to more traditional playstyle, kind of figure things out here, as they did just lose a 1 round and they don't want to let Seduction back into this game.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to agree with you there. It seems like they're gonna be playing a little bit closer right now to the sights into each other, being a little bit more defensive as McFoles. Unfortunately for him, he's not gonna be getting another 4K this round. Instead, Clix is gonna shut that down early on, and that's gonna turn this into a 5v4 almost immediately. And now there are no EE1Ds for Seduction to work with. Bad position for Seduction to be in right now.
Yeah, they don't have really any intel operators now except the direct counter to roamers, which is going to be that Jackal, but Jackal is definitely going to be putting a little bit more scare, knowing that Clix is on the prowl and could catch him out at any moment. And the problem with Jackal, obviously being a great counter to roamers, sometimes the roam counterer of Jackal gets countered himself, gets pinched, and gets knocked out early. And because of that, I think we're definitely going to be seeing a lot more timid style of play here from the entire Seduction team. They have the complete control up top, as Ham is actually able to get a kill onto Tugmaster. That's a huge kill, as that Tugmaster Fragger is not going to be kind of coming in, but just like that, that Jackal comes into play as well, as the Jaeger's going to be tracked. But complete up top control here from Seduction, but they're not doing much with it. They're opening holes, but not a lot of site presence, not a lot of map control besides up top. Sharx definitely just are in a position where they want to be right now.
Yeah, and keep in mind, they still have Box, the Russian Spetsnaz warrior, to do so and work with. That's Jewel, able to get a great pick from the hole. Ham is going to get taken out right now, and Broha makes his way into the luggage area. Meanwhile, Sushi is still outside. A lot of the Seduction members are fractured at the moment. Definitely not looking as good as the previous round that we just saw come out from McFoles. Clicks making his way into the blue room, still doing a great job with his roaming capabilities right now. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. And once again, Box able to get a couple of frags. A lot of members of Sharx are doing work. And as I say that, Broha is going to go down to the 9x19 VSN and doing a great job there. Sushi gets a couple of shots onto Clicks, almost able to pop his head off, but just wasn't able to land that final shot to clean up the kill.
And just like that, 2 operators left with 30 seconds left. It's not looking good. And Sushi was very, very odd there. I think he might have been on single fire. It looked really, really odd. I don't know why he didn't just pepper down that Capcan. But in the end, he still gets the kill. But it's not going to matter as Jewel cleans up the mess, takes down Sushi. And something to note is Sushi was playing a Thermite. You are never going to see Sushi play a Thermite in a Seduction scrim. I have never seen that before. And he is one of those he is one of those players and has a personality of a player where you say, he's kind of like a Kanto when Kanto just joined Penta, where you say, you know what? Go frag. Go kill. We won't have really many kind of parameters of what you have to do. Go do your thing. As just like that, we see Cav coming out into the mix as well. Sharx, wow, they're throwing a lot of curveballs right now, and Seduction, I think, might strike out. Dude, a lot of puns coming out today.
Oh, man. And it looks like we are going to see the Aoeah coming out right now. The Brazilian, as I like to call her, the spooky ghost waifu of Rainbow Six Siege. And another 6 pick is going to be coming out, although it's not going to be as fun. Ham is just going to be picking good old Boren Buck. And, you know, I want to say that these operators typically aren't in the meta for a reason. Aoeah, you aren't really going to catch people out long enough to utilize her ability of finding people. And along with that, you know, Clicks has been doing a great job on the Roman Aquarium, but a lot of that is because of the Jaeger ADSs and his German gun.
Yes.
However, Tugmaster is going to be swapping over to that role instead of picking up a Maestro. But I think this is kind of a smarter move, just throwing all of Sharx on fragging operators with a good amount of utilities and just enough of that X factor in order to carry them to get the victory. Yeah,
they have enough X factor to throw them off for sure, but they also have just the guns and the utility to back it up as well. So there's not too much of, I guess, the things you don't want, and there's not too much of the things you do want. So it's looking really good. It's actually, although we do see the cap, it's just a pretty typical kind of operator setup.
3 spawn peaks. Oh my goodness.
As just Sharx are playing so aggressive right now, it's throwing Seduction off, as Cav is actually might be getting caught out here very soon. But because of the fact that this is comp play, you're never really going to see her get an interrogation off. But Broha is able to get the kill onto Tugmaster. Tugmaster, unfortunately, not able to utilize that very, very strong Jaeger gun, and is going to go down very early, as Clicks is going to be met with a bunch of shots. Tries to find the kill onto, I think that was Broha once again, but not able to find the shots as well. But this is definitely slowing down the Seduction push tremendously.
And right now, we can see the drones are coming out trying to find both Clicks and Box, and succeeding in doing so. They know that Clicks is in kitchen, and they know that somebody is in the Sunrise bar. They're just not sure exactly where. Clicks is going to be running into Broha, but he's not going to be able to land his shots, which means he is going to be on the winning end of that. But Box is able to find a kill onto Sushi, but that's going to be immediately refragged out after. And that's all the roamers taking off the board. And losing 3 roamers this early on when they should have had a larger impact, only able to take out the hard breacher, not the situation that Sharx wants to be in. I think that they kind of bit off a little bit more than they could chew, kind of just messing around and having fun. And now I think they are going to realize, hey, we cannot keep on doing that. As Ham opens up the floorboards below, is almost able to find Jewel right there. Now Jewel is able to win in this gunfight last time. Will he be able to do so at this moment as McFoles makes his way onto the roof and Durkin heads into billiards.
As those holes do work both ways, and that has always been a problem here for him. He's actually been killed there twice this series by his own buck holes. He's hoping that doesn't happen again because Jewel knows how to play those angles very, very well. But about a minute left here, not a lot of site presence, and G2 is actually going to find a frag there onto Durkin, that is. Yes, it is. That's going to be the Twitch off the board. EE1Ds, they still have one left. There's a lot of utility for the Seduction team, but we've seen Sharx do this before. They are so good in 2v4 situations. When they have the deficit, it just makes them play better, and I think that's what we're going to probably see here.
And Broha is already going to be jumping into the bathroom area as McFoles tries to go for the plan. They don't have any yokai to work with, but that's going to be Broha going down, and along with that, it looks like they're going to get into a gunfight as well. McFoles is able to find one of them. G2 is going to get taken out. McFoles is going to find a nice little two-piece for him, and Seduction will be taking their first attack rounds.
And
second attack round, I'm sorry.
Yes, and unfortunately with the VR glitch, as you call it, we were not able to see the kind of the substance of that kill, but the final kill cam shed some light on the great headshot there from McFoles.
At least it's a cool looking glitch, you know?
Exactly.
You have swinging it around, and it's like
Yeah, it's like you're in a different dimension or something. And it's,
Exactly.
So, but going into this one, I think we're definitely going to see, obviously, it being halftime. Sharx, they realize, okay, maybe we should bring a little bit more, I think, smarter operators. Obviously, the Cav being a little bit interesting. Tachanka definitely being very, very interesting. And I think they're thinking, okay, let's bring a little bit more of a traditional style of operators. I said this before, and they proved me wrong, but I think this is the time when they finally turn the corner. As we do see Thermite, Lion, IQ, Dokkaebi, and Twitch, all very, very good operators. Just to say that Ash is actually going to be opted for Box. And that's smart as well, actually. We are waiting. Hasn't confirmed it yet. Could change off of the Ash, but I'm thinking he's going to stick with it because he is a fragging roll, and just like that,
I feel like
he does.
I think at this point that Box is just kind of trolling us a little bit, trying to mess with the casters. Like,
sure.
hey guys, what do you think the casters are going to do if we choose Tachanka? We'll just switch off of 6-pig multiple times and do all that good stuff, and it's super hard to analyze things. But we are going to be starting out with the Penthouse Theater site. Seduction is going to be choosing this at their first one versus Sharx, who decided to go Kitchen for their first option instead. So we're going to see how they'll play the site differently from how Sharx played it. Now, we didn't really get very many proper rounds on Penthouse for Sharx. They were able to win one of them, but the second one didn't go in their favor, although I think that was mostly because of the way that they were playing, just very weirdly aggressive and kind of, I don't want to say trolling because that's not the correct term, but just playing in a way that you really wouldn't expect.
It was almost like a ranked match. It was almost like, okay, let's try to catch these guys off with a different tactic that's more ranked match-esque, where we're going to be very aggressive. We're going to try to catch them out. But obviously, it doesn't work against teams in this league. Obviously, not a lot. Sometimes it will. But because teams are they have a lot of intel, a lot of connections, and a lot of just kind of knowing exactly what's going to happen, a lot of communication. It's really hard to play that ranked style and that aggressive style. And I think Sharx realize that, and that's why we're seeing, I guess, obviously not being on defense, but on offense. They're just using a lot more common picks here.
Yeah, and Sharx' setup right now for their operator choices are going to be much more in favor of that team composition and the way that you should be playing this.
For sure.
We can see that Tugmaster watching the angles while Broha is still sitting in the background along with his teammate, two of them angering on a site with those great three armor ACOGs, as I like to call them.
Yes.
As Durkin and McFoles and Sushi are all roaming off of site. Now, this could go widely in their favor or widely in the favor of Sharx. It depends on who gets caught out for what. We see G2 trying to catch somebody in luggage, not going to be able to spot anybody as Box drones ahead for his teammates.
Something to note is the fact that McFoles and Durkin are a very strong tandem roam team. I've casted so many of their scrims before. These two on the roam work so well together that it's very hard to catch them out. And I think right now, Sharx, they're not really putting any pressure on them, and that might bite them in the butt later on in the round when the flanks come out from McFoles and Durkin. And it's very interesting as well as Durkin is a Legion, and Legion you definitely want to kind of have more on the near sight area because it just is that well-needed intel when the attackers start pushing. But just like that, Jewel is able to take down Ham. That is one of the site holders, the ACOG 3 armors, like you say, but Sushi's able to get an immediate refrag almost. And Sushi as well is going to be going up here for the flank. To C4 is going to be coming out. Is it going to land? And it does.
Yes.
What a great toss there from Sushi. Takes Tugmaster out. And 3 people left here for Team Sharx. They do have VIP control and have blew a hole into Master Bedroom. But what can they do with it?
And here we go. The logic bomb is deployed. That's going to give away the position of a couple of them. Remember that Broha is playing Echo, which means his phone will not be ringing today. Looks like DeKebi's not going to be calling him on his cell phone, but Sushi, however, is going to get spotted out on Cool Vibes and going to be forced to reset their phone. 50 seconds left. They know somebody is below, and they have Durkin watching that angle from below, watching for the flank, watching for the defuse, and watching for the plant. They have a lot of utility, and I think honestly the best situation for Sharx right now is to try and go for the frags. They are not going to be able to easily get the bomb down on the site in the position they're in, but G2 is going to be going for it anyway, and he's going to be punished heavily for that. Durkin's able to take him out right now from below. Good use of Yokai and the teammates as McFulls is able to find someone as well, and Broha is going to be able to claim the kill onto Jewel, and Seduction will take round number 6.
Just really smart operator choices there from Seduction, and they played them very, very well. It was roamer heavy, have about 1 person, 2 people on site at most, get those flanks established, be patient, and get the kills. That's exactly what the roamers did. There's 2 ways you can play a roamer. Very aggressive and waste the time of the attack, or very patient and almost be like a friendly ghost until the very end of the match when you turn into a very, very angry ghost and start getting the frags. That's exactly what we saw Seduction do. They turned into that angry ghost. They were able to get those late kills. They were able to stop those stop that defuse just because they were so patient and were not caught out early. Great roam game there from Seduction. Just like that, it's tied up.
Yeah, very good position for Seduction to be in. I honestly think that Sharx may have underestimated them a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that the Chichanka was a bad pick because it worked out in their favor, especially in those first 2 rounds. But I feel like they were kind of playing just a bit like, oh yeah, we can get these guys easily, even though the first map was relatively close. So I think that's a bit of a misstep on Sharx's part. And I haven't casted too many of their games in the REDCUBE League, but I don't think that they have played anything like this in the past. Yeah, so we are going to be switching over to Kitchen right now, but really it's kind of weird to see that they are doing it, especially on this map for almost a seemingly random reason.
Yeah, and something to note as well is the fact we've seen Sharx, the only time they've really kind of thrown out, I guess, a very different operator was on Villa, their very, very first week of playing against Evolve. They threw out a Cav, and that Cav actually got a 4K. So maybe the kind of, I guess, mindset of Sharx is every time we play a kind of interesting operator, we get a lot of kills with it. So let's just start playing very interesting operators. And obviously it's worked a little bit here, but Seduction have kind of started falling upon that strategy, have exactly figured out exactly what they're going to be doing, and they've answered very, very well, and they have tied it up here. So Sharx definitely have to figure something out. They don't want to kind of dig their own hole here.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it has to be once in a blue moon it works out for them.
Yes.
But we can see that they are bringing in Montang, so it looks like they might be going for an early push, already trying to get that barbed wire clear while G2 holds down the fort. Making sure nobody's going to be coming from any different angles. It looks like something was exploded there. I'm not sure what from the Thatcher EMP grenade as Jewel watches for the run out and spawn peak area. Broha, however, trying to force him back, preparing one of his toxic baits that he doesn't throw out just yet, but he is prepared to do so. We can see that a lot of roamers are going to be on the Seduction side. Only 2 members of Seduction actually anchoring onto the site. Meanwhile, Sharx right now, they are really trying to go for this as a toxic babe is going to get thrown out, and boxes watch the angle, make sure nobody's going to be trying to come out from the penthouse window. It looks like Jewel is going to get punished heavily for his peak. That's going to be Sushi taking him off the board, finding the first kill of this round right now. Not the situation that Sharx wants to be in. McFull is taking a little bit of damage right now, and another remote gas grenade is going to be pushed out as Box is able to find one, only to be immediately traded out. The 2 of them are going to exchange blows with each other. That's going to turn this into a 3v4, definitely in favor of Seduction right now, and they're really struggling to get this bomb planted.
Yeah, their whole strat was push in with Monty and get a plant down quickly. It's not working. Monty, yes, obviously being just a wall of an operator, can get that plant down quickly, but because of the way this defense is set up, because of the roam game, because of the peaks, because of the utility, it's really, really hard. You have Legions, you have Valkyrie cams, you have Maestros, and you have a smoke. Getting past that thick, thick wall of the defense is going to be very, very hard, even when you have an operator like Monty. That's why you see Clicks and Tugmaster, they're going to be rotating off and trying to clear that roam game. And already with 1 minute left, finally starting to clear that roam game, that's very, very late.
Now they are able to find somebody. Durkin's going to get taken down in this rotation from the pressure of all 3 Sharx members. but this is not looking good for them. They don't really have any way to push onto the site. They don't really have any way to counter a majority of this utility that's going on. We can see that Clix is trying to take out that evil eye, but it's not going to do so exactly. And he's in a very bad position right now as Sushi is able to find a Nitrocell onto the Montang. That's going to be G2 going down right now. Broha trying to go in for the flank as Ham pushes forward right now. The two of them are going to get into a gun battle, and surprisingly, Clix is actually going to be on the winning side of that. Sushi, however, with the spray down, is going to be able to land a wallbang, and Tugmaster's going to be pushing inside right now, turning this into a 1v1, but 15 seconds left. Time is definitely in Tugmaster's favor. Or, I'm sorry, excuse that, Broha's favor right now. 10 seconds, time is ticking away. Tugmaster has no idea where the smoke is right now. The two of them, however, are so close to running into each other. Ooh. Tugmaster looking around that deployable shield, and Broha is going to come out on top, and Seduction, another defensive round win for them.
So that is 3 unanswered now for Seduction. And something that's kind of odd to say is Coastline was the map that Sharx lost to on Runic, and I was expecting definitely in this map, in this round, when we go into this, I was expecting there's a lot of holes in Sharx defense and their offense, but I was expecting them to patch those almost immediately because they lost to Runic, because they lost to Runic on stream and it was kind of exposed to the rest of the league. I was expecting them to come out on Coastline very, very strong. But we're kind of seeing the same style of play from them on Coastline. And this time, it's not being the fact that they didn't have a warm-up, because this is the second map of the day for these two teams. They've had a warm-up. They've had their first map. Seduction are just outplaying them right now.
Yeah, really not doing a great job at the moment. We can see that they're trying to switch things up once again, but they're choosing these kind of weird operators. They just had the Montang, and now they're switching over to the Blitz. We haven't seen Box play Blitz throughout this entire game at the moment. We didn't see him do it on Oregon. We haven't seen him do it up the Coastline. That's a lot of rounds to kind of pull somebody out of the blue out of, especially when, you know, Montang didn't really do a whole lot. No offense to Box that last round who was playing him, but it honestly just isn't the best idea for the situation that they are in right now. Seduction is a round ahead. You want to stick to what you know. Good strategies and good operator compositions. I really don't think that Blitz fits in too much with the rest of the Sharx lineup.
And again, it seems as almost Sharx are trying to pull out pocket strats or strats that throw off teams. And there comes a point when you have to say, okay, things are not working. And I'm actually taking this from experience as the newly rebirthed team of Xeno when I play on a competitive team and kind of do some scrims just to get my head into kind of the players. There was a moment when it was, I think, our second scrim ever. We were like, all right, let's just try to rush tactic. It worked the first time, it worked the second time, but once we kept doing it, it just got fizzled out almost immediately, and that's the problem with a lot of teams. If it works once and it works twice, yes, it's good, but you can't stick to your guns for that long, especially in a game like Siege. It's so fluid, things change, and operators change, and just circumstances change. And right now, Sharx aren't adapting that well, which is very shocking to say.
Yeah, they really need to change something up, and right now they're doing so, but I'm not sure if it is the right thing to switch out. We can see that Clix is back on one of his favorite operators, IQ, and he didn't do amazing in Oregon, but Tugmaster able to get a pick early on. That's the Legion taken off of the board. That's going to be a very important frag in order to get rid of those goo mines, so good start for them as the Logic Bomb is going to be thrown out. Frag grenade coming out from Clix. It's going to try to be thrown into the kitchen doorway, taking out a couple of that barbed wire and any goo mines that were thrown there before he died. Box is able to spot out, I believe that was McFoles right now as shots come out from the bathroom area. He's going to take a little bit of damage, but they're relatively going to have complete control of the second floor side right now. McFoles is making his way up onto Cool Vibes. Tugmaster peeking, but not able to spot him out just yet. Jules is able to get a great shot on Broha, but G2 is going to go down from Ham. Tugmaster watching the flank, and Ham is taking a lot of pressure right now. The flash is going to be coming out from Box, and he's going to be on the winning side of that as Tugmaster catches out the flank, leaving this all up to Sushi. And this looks like exactly what they needed to come back in. Yes. Tugmaster is going to clean it up with the 3K, and Sharx will be taking their very first attacking round.
Very, very fast-paced play from Sharx, and that's similar to what we've seen from them before. That round was over very, very quickly. They got into the face of Seduction, and Seduction paid for it. That was a strong round from Sharx. They looked a lot like their old selves, and yes, they pulled in the Blitz, but they pulled into the Blitz in a way that it fit with every other operator, whereas before this, like we were talking about, they were pulling in operators that, yes, they were different, but they weren't fitting in as well. Pulling in that Blitz, it fit in very, very well, which was a surprise to both of us, I obviously, correct me if I'm wrong. But that was a great push there from Sharx. They needed that round. They could not have let Seduction get on the match point. And because of that, I think with that confidence, actually, we see Blitz coming back again. Seduction, they got completely wiped by that Blitz. I'm expecting Sharx to come out on this one and win once again. We've seen, as actually Sushi knows the direct counter to the Blitz would be a nice Capkin and Elysian. So those two operators coming out as well. This is going to be one of the more interesting rounds, even without that very interesting pick of Tachanka.
Yeah, but we are going to be seeing a little bit of a new operators coming out. Now it's Sushi's turn to play a Russian operator. We can see that Capcan is going to be pulled off, a little bit more popular in competitive play than Tachanka. We have seen him a couple of times in Pro League, but definitely not a common decision. Mostly due to the fact that, especially when you're going against a Twitch or people with a lot of droning abilities to see where those traps are. Yeah, exactly. And along with that, we have an Aoeah too. Very, very weird kind of composition that they had. And I think that they're trying to
stop that
what Sharx did. Yeah, do that. And they're also trying to do what Sharx did in terms of having that kind of X factor.
Yes.
You know? I mean, even Sushi is running the same exact gun attachments for the 9x19 as Box originally was. So we'll see how this works for them, because I honestly think it's going to be very difficult for them to do as well as Sharx did with theirs.
Yeah, as we see, Box is just going to be playing very aggressive. Obviously, on that Blitz, it's exactly what you want your, I guess, Blitz main in this situation to do. Get right into the face of the defense, clear out that roam as quick as possible with someone right behind them, and that's exactly what Box is doing, and he's doing very well at it. The push is actually, they've already gotten a lot of control of the second floor with zero to little to none kind of contest at all from the defensive team so far, as they've actually found themselves already in VIP, have VIP control, and there has been zero contest from the defensive team. So Sharx, they find themselves in a strong position, but because they've opened themselves up in that VIP area, they also open themselves up to flanks.
And Box is going to be pushing inside, but he has Jewel to watch in the meantime. He sees the backpack, but once again, that's not the hitbox. Sorry, Ham's still going to be perfectly fine, sitting at 100% health, and Jewel's going to be wasting his ammo. Peek's going to be coming out from Ham, who tries to get a spray through that, as Jackal Trackle is going to be coming into Inox, making effective use right now. And Ham's Evil Eye is not going to really come out in favor too much. He tries to get it. Tugmaster is able to take that on, but a lot of damage going on to Clicks, almost dropping him down to the injured state. I'm not really sure what happened there, but G2 is able to get a kill onto Sushi right now, and this push is looking very good for Sharx right now. They're going to be rushing forward, but all four of them are tagged with the exception of G2. They're watching the angles, however. The Yokai is able to spot it out and delaying as much time as possible. They aren't able to find this Yokai drone. It looks like it's going to get another charge, but Broha is going to be making his way forward for the flank, but Tugmaster is watching it, able to find one. Will he grab the second one? No. Ham is going to grab one, and so is Dirk, and he's going to go down, but that's going to be immediately refragged out. But Ham finds a second one for him. This is a 1v2 right now. Make that a 1v1 as Clicks is crawling away, almost effectively lifeless. There's not a whole lot they can do here, and plenty of time for Ham. I think that Tugmaster definitely needs to be going for this frag, but Ham is coming up with the flank. Clicks will be able to call it out from his struggling dead body if that is spotted out. Yes, Clicks is going to go down. This is a 1v1 and definitely not in favor of Tugmaster right now. 5 HP and a dream, as they like to say, against a 3 armor. He has to get the headshot, trying to waste as much time as he possibly can. He's going to get rushed forward, and Ham is going to be able to come out on top of it, but does he have enough time? I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either. I think that's going to be a round going for the attackers, and just like it is. But something I wanted to note was the reason we saw the Jackal take so many Maestros is he was blocking the Maestro, so the Maestro didn't pop off the thermite charge from the wall. So
he didn't shoot it. That's the problem.
No.
Why didn't he shoot
the yeah, I don't understand why he didn't shoot it, but you know what? That is a great question.
That's why I was confused. Like, I think it's a good idea to block it, but why didn't he destroy it?
Huh.
Because he probably took maybe 20, 25 damage.
Yeah, no, I think he took more. He was about at 50 health and was brought down to like about 5, like we saw what Tugmaster was out, and then got down subsequently. As that was, yeah, I'm very confused now. I don't know why he didn't shoot it. Might have been a glitch, like client side, but I have no idea. But either way, it really doesn't matter at this point because Sharx won the round, so it doesn't really matter.
Didn't have an effect on their victory, so I'm sure that they're totally fine with whatever happened there. As we can see, Box is going to be switching over. Is he going to be going onto the Blitz for a third time? No, he's instead going to be going for another Flasher Ying instead. And as I say that, nope. Again, Box is just likes to mess with casters.
Yeah, he's definitely just messing with us at this point. He's I'm surprised he hasn't 6-picked to every single operator right before he starts the round.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Because that would just be awesome. But what we're seeing so far is Seduction, they had a lot of good rounds, but then Sharx, I think, just tightened everything up. They realized, I think they definitely underestimated Seduction, because they were saying, okay, let's bring a couple things, maybe let's pull out a couple strategies we haven't tried before. It didn't work. Seduction capitalized on that. They pulled a lot of rounds back, took the lead for a little bit, but then we see Sharx, they say, okay, let's go with our guns, let's go with what we know, and let's get a couple rounds back, and let's win this map. We can't be known as the team that loses consistently on Coastline, as they did lose against Runic on this map, and I think that's why they're coming out here very, very strong on match point as well. Exact same situation as last map. Exact same situation. Sharx won last time. Can Seduction change the pattern?
Yeah, they're 1 round away from losing this, so this is definitely a lot on Seduction's plate right now. They have to win this in order to continue on right now. And Sushi already dropping down to 60 health. Not the position that you want to be in immediately into the round. Mick Foles is going to get drawn up by G2, and Box is going to be pushing forward, taking a little bit of damage from his feet, dropping down to about 50 health. Great aim coming up from him, but not really a good position for him to be in. He is essentially stuck in Aquarium right now. He does have a Gersmont mine, but this is not looking too good as Box tries to clear it out, but he's not going to be able to do so. Instead, that's going to get popped, and another one's going to get thrown out. He had 2 in his pocket as Clix is able to find Mick Foles, taking Aoeah off of that, allowing them control of Aquarium. Great collapse from Sharx, able to take him out almost immediately, but right now they have quite a few angles to work with on this defensive side.
A lot of the operators were picked due to the fact they want to stop that blitz, and one of them is already off the board. That Aoeah, being a great counter to the blitz, just slowing him down, is killed subsequently and dies, and just like that, she can't really do much. She has no more goo mines. Obviously, she used 2 of them on the blitz, and they didn't really prove to be much of anything or much of any use, as Clix was able to get the kill onto that Aoeah. As well as the fact we see Sushi and being a Frost and a Legion coming out. They're really just trying to stop this Blitz, and it's just not working so far. Blitz is walking over the entire map and just getting so much control of the entire map by himself. Obviously, he has the help of his teammates behind him, but he really has been the operator that has changed this game.
We can see the smoke grenade is going to be coming down. Box at 25 health as Clix is able to find a second frag for him this round. He's looking very good. A third one for him. Sushi not able to do a whole lot. Tugmaster rushing his way inside the VIP right now. The diffuser is going to be planted right now. Broha is able to find one, but Jewel and Tugmaster are able to clean it up. And with that, Sharx maintains their undefeated record, and they will be taking this game.
Sharx continue to put fear in the eyes of anyone they are going to face. Something that's very unfortunate is the one team that I would really love to see them face, who they have already faced, but because of the recent roster changes, I would love to see them face Wheelchair Gaming. I think those two teams really could go up against each other very, very strong because of the changes with Wheelchair, but it doesn't matter what the future holds. What right now holds is the fact that Sharx is undefeated, Sharx is going to be feared, and they are looking very, very strong. They've put off some very interesting strats. Some worked, some didn't. Either way, they get the win. And there's been really no answer for them so far. And I mean, what can you say about that?
Yes, exactly. Really good plays coming out from Sharx. They're really showing that they have essentially earned an invite into every single invite league for the majority of these community leagues. You know, they're in ESA invite. They were in Wants League invite before that fell apart. They're obviously in REDCUBE League, and they have pretty much been at the top of the amateur scene. And they're really showing that they are a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, for sure. And we're actually going to hear a little bit more about them. Definitely ask a couple Tachanka questions, as well as there's going to be an interview coming very, very shortly. We'll be right back with you guys in about 5 minutes. Just stick around and let's see what was going through the mind of the Sharx player as they go on to continue their undefeated record.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Alright guys, so a very, very brief intermission there, as I'm actually going to be heading into the interview, probably the quickest we have ever seen. All of the players are already in their respective channels to hop in there and give them a little chat. And let's see what was going through the mind of all the Sharks players after they get not only their first, second, third, or fourth win in a row, but their fifth, and now they are undefeated. Let's see what was going through their head as we are going to hop into their channel right now. Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm just going to get right into the interview here, and I think everybody's first question is, what was going through your mind when you put out Tachanka?
Well, I'm the one that made the call. Literally, it's just us being cocky. I literally said, guys, if we can literally just win with a Tachanka, let's just do rank strats. We're not gonna, if they can't even beat us with our actual real strats, we might as well just do rank strats. It's not even worth it. Then once it started getting hard for us, we just realized that we had to pull back, and then that's what we did.
All right, yeah, we definitely saw a lot of confidence surging from you guys as Tachanka, obviously. Not a very, very viable pick, but you guys made him work. And then the second question I have is, going into this game, you guys are undefeated, and coming out of it, you guys stay undefeated. Is there really any team you think could be a challenge to you?
EG.
There you have it.
That was a really good answer. I was not expecting that at all. Great answer. You guys heard it here first. Sharks directly challenging Evil Geniuses, and I guess we'll see what happens with that. But that's going to be all of my questions. Nitrox, do you have any?
Yes. My first question is going to be mainly that, so you guys right now have been doing very well. Obviously, you're currently undefeated, and along with that, most of your victories, with the exception of one, have been 2-0. We did see you take a loss on Coastline. After losing that map, did you really change anything in terms of how you played on it, or is it basically that was kind of just a one-time thing and it really didn't need any fixing?
Well, I mean, I think we struggled on that game. Joey, I'm talking, gosh. Okay.
Toxic.
So we struggled that game for sure, but we didn't really fix anything. Tonight was definitely just us trying to focus on having more fun in game. We have Guard here with us, a great guy that we just are trying out. So I don't know, we weren't really chatting too much. We just really wanted to take a dub, going the kind of ranked strat, you know?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
All right, that's gonna be all my questions. Very good games, boys. GG.
All right.
Does the viewers have any questions?
Thank you.
And okay, guys, that's going to be it then. That's going to be all it for today. Thanks so much, guys, for sticking around, and I wish you the best of luck and continuing your undefeated season. You know what, Guard? Next time, don't cut me off. I'm just kidding. All right, see you guys.
See you, REDCUBE.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. But that's not going to be it for this week. Actually, okay, I lied. I snaked you guys. It might be it for this week, solely due to the fact that I'm going to be traveling tomorrow. I have a setup in my other house in Colorado. I'm going to be traveling all day tomorrow because of, obviously, there's going to be probably delays because of a lot of storms and things like that. So we might not be able to see the games Friday or possibly Saturday. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry to anybody playing, but I'm pretty sure we still will be able to see the Saturday games, most likely not the Friday games. And with that, even if we don't see the games, there is still Siege After Dark where you guys can all tune in, where we go over all of the week. We have a little bit of fun with all the community, and you guys as viewers, you could possibly join in as well. That is going to be coming around at the end of every week when all the matches are played. It's going to be a nice little fun podcast with a bunch of people in the community just to make our community a little bit stronger. I hope you guys tune in for that because that's going to be a lot of fun. But before we leave, I want to hop back into a channel with Nitrox and make sure he is able to say his shameless kind of shout out to himself, as I'm going to quickly find him, but I have no idea where he went. He's disappeared off of the face of Discord, and I cannot find him, so I apologize. But if you guys do want to follow him, it's going to be at Twitter on Nitrox Hype. Everything, basically, every social media post is going to be Nitrox Hype. Also, if you want to follow him personally on Twitch, that's also going to be Nitrox Hype, where he does a lot of personal streams and is a little bit more, I guess, interactive with the viewers. But that's going to be it here for tonight. Great game there from Seduction. They got very close to taking a map away from Sharx, but in the end, Sharks, they're just too dominant, and it seems like every fish in the sea they continue to munch upon because they're sharks. Puns continue, still not that good. But it's okay, guys, and that's going to be it today. Thanks so much. Peace. Tune in for Siege After Dark very, very soon.